Episode 552. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, you and I were on video if you are on Patreon watching this. And we're definitely bringing in like the black and white, like angel devil, you know how we do, which is like getting more and more appropriate because it feels like it's getting to be witchy season. And you know how I love that.
I think I'm going to be Willy Wonka.
Oh, that's a good one.
I just got in the
you'd
mood.
be cute as that.
I
like
hope
which
it works
version?
Out. Gene Wilder.
Obviously.
Which
like there was
version?
going to be another answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think the purple shenanigan.
This is
It'll be
great.
cute.
And then you can save the purple suit. Next year go as Prince.
Next year, go as... Yes, that's true. Multi-purpose. And then I think for book club, I'm going to go as somebody, but I'll be a surprise.
Oh my God. Speaking of book club, I love my book. I'm so excited to talk about it. If
Why
you do
are
not
you so
know
obsessed with it?
about our book club, you need to join right now.
Why do you love it so much?
It is about an influencer in England, and it's really interesting to hear how it's different, how influencer culture in Britain is different than in the United States, and like what's popular, and it's like a behind the scenes into that whole world, and it is fascinating and exciting. And
Is this a true story?
no, it's kind of like a Gone Girl style mystery thriller. But so good. But about like social media. If you are a participant in the social media world and you follow anybody who's a celebrity in any way, like me or Susie, then you should definitely check this out. And you could join our book club for literally $1. That's it.
Literally $1.
$1. That's it. Nothing.
Yeah, I think it is so fun. The meetings have been really good.
Yes.
People are really engaged and involved. Like, it's not just us talking, like the group talks.
Right.
It's nice.
It's a book club.
It is a book club.
Yes.
And you can join on our website or you can join on Patreon. But that's patreon.com/braincandy.
Yes.
I
I just made
Sarah,
Susie do an ad there, and she didn't even know she was doing one.
Sarah mentioned, it was off the air.
Yeah. What?
You mentioned that you watched LulaRich.
Yes, I am so glad. I didn't talk about it last episode because I was like, I'm going to save it and let Susie because I know that we're going to have a lot to say on this. What did you think?
Did you watched the whole thing?
Whole thing.
LulaRich is a documentary on Amazon, and it's about the LuLaRoe legging empire. 4 episodes. Real doozy.
Yep.
I mean, who knew leggings could be so scandalous?
It was a fascinating documentary. Because
have you ever owned a pair?
No, absolutely not. I did accidentally buy what very well could have been, but they probably weren't because I got trapped in one of those in the very early days of Instagram, one of those Instagram scams of like, these are the best leggings, just pay shipping for them. Like I think I paid like $5.95 for these like leggings that were supposed to be amazing and blah, blah. They were terrible.
Wow.
They were so bad. Right in the garbage. But those were not the same thing. But it was so interesting to see how it was just the perfect storm of problems.
Right.
Okay, I know that you. This is like your story to talk about, but there was something hilarious that I realized as I was watching this. You know how we talk about I would be the perfect person to join a cult?
Yes.
And how a cult I wouldn't. And then I said I wouldn't join a cult because I'm not good at like worshiping one person.
Yeah, you're like I'm better than you.
It is a real miracle I haven't joined a multi-level marketing. It is only my own laziness and not and my lack of follow through that has made it so I don't, because that's all about empowering the self. You could be your own business owner. The power's in you. You know how I love like that. It is really a miracle that I don't do that.
If you did join one, what product do you think you'd really want to do? Like
skincare.
Makeup. Skincare.
I say no hesitation.
She's
I'm
like,
like, no,
obviously.
skincare, obviously. Like healthcare and skin health and skin. It would be like, I mean, I would find something that I was, you know, who did fall for those a few times is my mom.
Oh, of course she did, because that's my mom. Our moms are the same. Truly.
What did your mom do?
Melaleuca, which is like, you know.
Oh my God. And they both did the hippity dippity ones too.
Yeah, she used to do other ones. Oh, Shackley, which is like vitamins.
Okay.
It's like from the 80s.
Yeah.
But I mean, certain people are just really drawn to them.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And did you feel... Well, here's what the mystery to me is, though, about LulaRich. They're not cute.
They're not
The
cute.
clothes are not
cute.
No
They're
offense
not.
if you love them, because, you know, taste is subjective, but...
Susie, I made notes about this because I was like, because this was also this connects to my book club book, because there was something that she mentions in there where she says the woman who's narrating the story is an influencer, and she talks about how her palette changed, wardrobe palette, the color palette of her wardrobe changed. And when she started picking things for photos for Instagram, it was colorful and bright, and now she had a signature look. And so then it made, like, because neutrals and black, wearing black all the time, doesn't translate to, you know, Instagram photos that are catchy. When I was watching that documentary and the women who were at the very top, that one woman who's like, I had to keep up and like look and spend a bunch of money and like look good all the time. She said, you know, the photos that got the most likes and the most clicks, and I made mental note of what those photos looked like, and they were always kind of a blurred background and a really brightly printed dress.
That's true.
And so I think that people loved the visual image, and that looks so great on Instagram, and then they see it and they're like, oh my God, I love that. That looks beautiful. But then when you wear it, there is a whole group of, like, I do remember, I have like elements of this look.
Do you?
Yes, and you know where you will see it is in my cast photo from the challenge Rivals 1 when I was paired with Trishelle, and I'm wearing a fold-down maxi skirt in a neon orange color that is totally like how the popular, those like, you know, long maxi skirts with the big wide waist. That
I do love a maxi skirt. It's just the patterns is what gets me. Like the holiday, like seasonal.
And can you believe the stories about how those patterns were made and that poor designer woman who was just under the gun? Like, you guys have to see this documentary.
God. Right, because I mean, their growth was exponential,
Too much.
So
25% growth rate each month.
Yeah,
That's
and like remember that year that said like we started the year at 12 million, and then by the end of the year we were at 1 billion sales. So I mean,
even believe
they couldn't keep up, and so as a result, they had to cut corners, and then like the designers had to like steal from Google Images and stuff.
Yes.
It was a whole scene.
A whole scene, like that whole clip of them doing the image and the art on the leggings, and then what they ripped off, and how it's the exact copy of it. It's just gross. It was people doing too much. They had one poor guy answering all the emails. He's my favorite character.
But obviously the people that created the company are just like, do you think they're sociopaths?
I think that they are narcissists, and it's like a little bit of that delusion of grandeur. And
they've bought into the hype for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I also think that there's a little bit of when the man talks, the husband, there's a little bit of that, not a little bit, a lot of that. What is it? Like American like
exceptionalism.
Yes, American exceptionalism. That's it. Of like, I am destined for this. It feels very culty. Like he's like the cult leader.
Yeah, it's obviously just struck me because I study American religion, and weirdly, this legging company overlaps with that, and capitalism always overlaps with that. So that's an interesting part, and how their worldview, affects how they run a business. That's true for anybody. And so, they just really believed that this was, their destiny, and that God is blessing them. And that I wonder, like, are they really blind to like the pain that they caused a lot of people? Yeah.
Yes.
And
I think they have to.
Really bought into like, if you fail, that's because you didn't do enough. This American, like, work until you die ideology. And
they don't recognize the ways that they had connections and that the privileges that they had that helped them. You know what I also think is, it's one of those, you only see what, you're only aware of what's in like your eyesight and what you can see and what's in your, what you're exposed to. So the people that were in her circle, like the owners and that family, the people that were in that circle, they only really spoke to and connected with the people who were making a ton of money on there. And so when money is the ultimate goal for you and you see people making a bunch of money, you're like, wow, everybody's doing great. I don't think they had face-to-face interactions with people who were losing money.
Yeah.
So in their mind, it's like, well, I talked to 10 people and 9 out of 10 are crushing it, so it must be everybody's crushing it. Nope. You talk to the 9 people or 10 people at the top. And
yeah, they really just did not believe or accept that their practices were harmful to anyone. There was no personal responsibility, but they were disgusted if they thought you wouldn't take responsibility.
Yeah.
Like the
gaslighting. It's total narcissism. Yeah. The thing that really, like, I got real excited about, and I wrote a note here because I was like, Susie is totally going to love this. The maiden name of the woman.
Of course.
Oh, my God. Tell the people.
Well, my theory, of course, is that your last name is like who you are or related to your person. And her fucking name was Deanne Startup.
Deanne Startup.
I mean,
not
that is
spelled
unbelievable.
Different. Start up. Exactly how you think it's spelled, but no space.
It's insane.
That could not. When I heard that, I had to rewind it. I was like, no.
I can't even believe
Get out. You can't. When it's that unbelievable and you can't write. It's just like, okay, this is one of those stories that, like, needed to happen.
Yeah, maybe it was destiny.
If it didn't happen on its own, somebody would have written this in a book, like, because it's too crazy.
The editor would have said, you got to change the name. That's not believable.
Right.
You know?
Yes. If somebody wrote that book, they'd be like, come on, they were being lazy.
Another thing that's unbelievable is how great the company Genexa is and how they take all the garbage out of our medicines.
Yes. It's about time.
I know.
Get it out of there.
Once we found out about Genexa and realized, like, this could be that they could take crap out of your medicine, it was just like, wait, why didn't we do this so long ago?
Oh, you're sick? Here, let me put more toxins and dyes into your body. No.
Yeah. Well, Lincoln's back to school, as you know, and he hasn't been in school, in a year and a half. And so he has, like, no immune system.
No, he's come down with
only
everything.
been with us. So he's got a cough, and then we get him tested, and then he has a cold. But it's all just because he's just around germs.
People. Right.
And I have been using my Genexa products more than I ever thought I would just in these last few weeks because he's needed them. But they are the same effective active ingredients as all the brands that you're used to buying. But they take out all those dyes and stuff that are totally unnecessary and that really shouldn't be given to anyone, especially sick people.
Right.
They have all the essential everyday medicines for adults, kids, infants. for a variety of health issues. So your family's covered, and it just helps you get what you need without the garbage that you don't want. Start cleaning out your medicine cabinet today. Go to genexa.com/braincandy for 20% off your first purchase. Go to genexa.com/braincandy for 20% off your first purchase. That's genexa.com/braincandy.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, I also, a Brainiac told me to watch a documentary on Vice about Rachel Hollis. I don't think you would know her, but she's
That name sounds familiar.
She had a few best-selling books. The one I think was
what
most
book
famous.
did she write that I know about?
Girl, Wash Your Face?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I follow her.
No.
I think I do.
Wow. You just wanted a little inspiration or what?
I don't know. I must have been. We'll see. But continue.
Well, she is in the evangelical community as a leader. Wow. You should unfollow.
Okay. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know why I follow these people.
Well, I'm sure you liked part of...
Oh, she's got crystals.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised she has crystals, actually. Well,
yeah, I wonder what was going on with me when I was like, yeah, follow.
You were in a dark place.
Probably.
I mean, she's toured with, like, Oprah. I mean, she's in that world of, live your best life shenanigan. And she happens to be under the veil of evangelicalism.
Probably just wanted to wash my face every night and had goals of that. Yeah. Like, that sounds
you
like
just were like, I need that message.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Even like that title and other things she's posted, like appropriate Black culture and sort of steal from...
Oh, for sure.
Like Toni Morrison, Maya Angelou, Oprah, whatever. And then, so she's always been on my radar in terms of like, toxic positivity, whatever.
Remember when I used to follow her?
I don't judge. It's okay. I just had to nip it in the bud. But then over like quarantine and the Black Lives Matter stuff, that, kind of revealed a lot of people's blind spots or
for sure,
whatever, problematic stuff. And she did this stupid ass live where she was talking about how she has a housekeeper. The housekeeper comes a couple times a week to clean the toilets or whatever. And she had been talking about it previously, and one of her followers was like, "You are privileged AF." And she was like, "Yeah, I am. But I worked my ass off to afford her. I'm not going to feel bad about it. I bet you guys don't, get up at 4 a.m, whatever." She was like trying to say, I deserve it. Right. I work my butt off, whatever. And then in the caption of the video, and someone said, "Well, you're not relatable then." And she's like, what makes you think I want to be relatable? Like, if I'm relatable, I am doing something wrong. And then the caption was like naming all these unrelatable women like Oprah, Harriet Tubman.
Oh, no.
All these people. And being like, they're not relatable either.
Oh, no.
So it's like this mix of like race idiocy.
Yep.
And also prosperity gospel, which is what I study, where you think like, if good things are happening to you, it's because you earned them, you deserve them, God is blessing you.
Wow.
Without thinking like, guess who else works hard? The lady cleaning your toilets.
Right. Who guaranteed is working a different kind of... And if you switch places, she'd really love to be doing your kind of hard work.
Like they never see that the flip side of saying like, I deserve this and I worked hard is like...
You don't.
If you have less, you must have worked not as hard.
Right.
And you don't deserve it as much.
That's kind of like the LulaRich thing for sure.
Yes. And these are all couched in American religion and like the ideology of like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but like white privilege blindness.
One of the things that in my book club pick, she talks about is the difference between American and British mommy influencers.
Why? What's the difference? In Britain, what do they do?
What do they call them? Insta mommies or something like that. That the woman in the book said that she first started. She was a model, and then wanted to, like, what do you do when you have kids? So she started blogging, and she was like displaying her life as it is, which is like very perfect and very polished. And people were like, in Britain are like, nah, we don't like to see that. We don't like that at all. Totally rejected. That she said that she has to messy up her house to make it look like it's
lived in.
Yes, that you can't in England, you can't have like this polished look. You have to, like, every caption has to say, like, you know, if you do look polished, you know, if I turn around, you'd see like baby spit up on the back of my jacket or something to like self-deprecate or like make you appear like you're just like everybody else, or else people who are the followers are like, you're not relatable, and you get like rejected. And in the United States, we look at not relatable and we put it on a fucking pedestal.
I hate it.
And then we wait for them to crash and burn.
Right. Which is fun to watch.
Yes.
And like, she was doing these marriage seminars while her marriage was falling apart. She was like her and her husband were like, had a podcast about marriage, and like made people pay all this money to come see them talk about marriage. And then like 2 weeks later, they're like, yeah, we're breaking up. It's gross.
I don't like that anyway, because I don't like I'm not big in the people who have no background in mental health holding seminars and doing that. Like, Tony Robbins is great and all, but I'm a little bit like,
he sucks. We hate him.
He doesn't. It's not really. Mom, why are you calling decline? I'm in airplane mode. Why does she always get through? I don't know what the deal is.
But also, Tony Robbins has been Me Too'd and is now like a super conservative.
Really? Oh,
gross.
Fuck that. Yeah. Okay. See, that I don't like any of it. I just feel like we need to listen to people who have the qualifications for this, and that's it. And then everybody else is just people.
Yeah. Right. Like flawed.
Yeah.
Imperfect.
Like, right.
But I enjoyed
anybody giving anybody else life advice that doesn't hold I don't even give life advice.
Yeah, right.
That's not my job.
I have to force you to do it for me.
Right. I like, it's not even part of my job description.
Yeah.
Because it's nobody's job to tell you how you should live your life.
In this film, you see her on a live, and she was like in her car. She was like, I know this is going to offend a lot of people, but I just have to say it. I saw this thing on Pinterest. It was like a meme or whatever.
All of those words that were just...
Right. No offense, but...
Right. There's a but and your source.
She had read a meme that said something like, if all you can do today is breathe, that's enough. Mm-hmm. And she was like, no, it fucking isn't. Like, you guys are lazy. Stop buying into this. You know, basically, like, whatever you believe is true. So if you believe you can't, you're right. If you believe you can, you're right. That whole, like, thing that you teach, like, 8-year-olds.
Right.
Is gross.
It is gross, because there are elements of that are accurate, but it's like any of those self-help, like the pop psychology things. I don't like when it's not the full story. It's just...
Well, and really all you're doing is dismissing that, because then it makes you feel superior and
of course
more evolved.
And I guarantee that there was a time where she needed validation for whatever situation she was going through that led her to the place where she feels confident enough to say, just do it. We've all been... You need the darkness before the dawn. It's very...
Well, and she talks in her book
part of that.
About how she relied on alcohol, prescription drugs to, like, get through the dark days. But then when other people, meaning, like, not white ladies, do it, they're, you know, like, trashy addicts and stuff like that.
We don't like
Like,
her.
everything's fine if you do it, but if she does it, but not if a normal person does. It's gross.
It's super gross. I'm not into any of that. And the whole hidden in religion and where the messages are just the same. It's like, oh, come on.
No, she's garbage. I'm canceling her.
Oh yeah, if you like that story, you should definitely check out our book club pick.
Okay, all right.
Telling you.
A company that I do love and that is not problematic is Quip.
Definitely love them. Definitely love brushing my teeth.
This is the best part about oral hygiene, and as you know, I love oral hygiene no matter what. Quip has beautiful toothbrushes that mount to your mirror. They send you a replacement head for the brush every few months. They have great toothpaste, and now they have amazing mouthwash that is concentrated, so it's better for the earth when they ship it. They don't have to
I love when I go over to a friend's house like your house or my friend Jesse's house. Shout out to Jesse. And they have Quip and it's stuck to the mirror. And then when I'm spending the night, it feels like I'm having a Quip party. Like,
yes,
oh, look at all of us with our matching toothbrushes. And I'm like, what color do they have?
Everybody should be attending the Quip party.
Yes,
because
at least twice a day.
It is fantastic. They have refillable flossers. They're doing great stuff in making things more sustainable and better for the environment. And just convenient. And if you go to getquip.com/brain5, right now you can get $5 off a mouthwash starter kit. That's $5 off a mouthwash starter kit, which includes a refillable dispenser and a 90-dose supply of Quip's 4 times concentrated formula at getquip.com/brain5, spelled GETQUIP.com/brain5. Quip, the Good Habits Company. Woo! Brush your damn teeth, people.
Brush them.
All right. Fall off the back of the tragedy of the owl in Central Park, I have a better...
Well, it's okay. He's been commemorated in our September doodle. So
did you add an owl? I didn't even notice.
I don't think I've sent you that one yet.
I haven't seen it. That was the August one.
But it's a commemorative piece dedicated to, what's his adorable name?
Barry, I think.
Barry. How could I forget that? Golly,
right.
Sarah, shame on you.
Well, I have a wonderful story about another animal. This is not a death, which is just great. It's a disabled parrot named Bruce.
I want Bruce and Barry. They should have been friends.
Bruce, I guess through injury, does not have a beak. And this type of parrot, they have very big beaks. And in addition to using it for food, of course, they also use their beaks to preen their beautiful feathers.
Yes, of course.
And it's a real problem if you can't take care of it. It'd be like if I didn't have my Quip toothbrush. You know what I mean?
And then you got like sweaters on your teeth for forever.
So what's really cool is Bruce made his own prosthetic beak.
Wait, he made it on his own?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. I go back to our conversation from last week. They're definitely people. They're persons. He can make him. He's like, let me fancy up a prosthetic beak here. We need to give him the right to wear that beak in public or something. Whatever.
I like that. I'm picturing it with like a party beak that you have like a little string.
Right? Like a party hat, but like forward. Yeah.
Well, the secret to Bruce's beak is that he picks up pebbles and he keeps them under his tongue.
Oh my
God. And between that and his lower beak. And then he uses that to preen. It's like a comb.
He just taught himself this?
Yeah.
Dude, do you understand what goes into that?
I know.
Like, what kind of cognitive... It really
he knows
is.
He has to
it's like
preen.
seeing a need, recognizing a need, and almost like some some future thinking of, I'm going to need to preen, not prune, but also kind of. And he's got a plan.
Yeah, and like the skeptics were sort of like, we have to be careful to make objective observations, always being wary of bias caused by anthropomorphizing or like attributing human characteristics to these animals. But like they went through all the hoops where they were like, they observed how often Barry was doing this. 9 times out of 10, when he picked up the pebble, he would then preen, and 95% of the time when he dropped the pebble, he would pick it back up to continue. So it wasn't like he was just
it was not
winging it.
She'll be here all week, guys.
So Barry knew exactly what he was.
Of course he
Bruce,
did.
Sorry, Bruce.
Bruce, yeah,
knew what he was doing.
Come on.
And used a tool.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Like and used a tool. It would be one thing if this was how for generations, like, you know, they've used tools and he has somewhere in his DNA, this is in there of like, you should do this. Nope. This was learned. This was self-taught.
He had never seen anyone do it. It's not like he's observing it and then learned that way.
I have the idea of, oh man, I love asking the question of what makes us human.
Uh-huh.
It's so cool.
Because we're running out of things now.
Yeah, we are.
Like, they're catching up, these guys.
I hear metaphors, our ability to use metaphors.
All right, that's all we have now.
Yeah, that the next step would be if Bruce then used that same tool for another purpose, like used it in a creative way or something that, like, I watched some video that was talking about this subject, and they said that if an animal sees, say, a watermelon, they look at it and they see fruit, and they see food, or not fruit, but like food, and they see a food source. We look at that and we think, okay, you can eat it, you can carve it and turn it into art, you could hollow it out, make a basket out of it. We see like multiple ways to use things, and we like
improvise.
Expand on that. And then I had a professor who said that the ability to use metaphors and compare two things is the thing that makes us human, because it's not language. It's not, but saying this is like this.
Yeah, I watched this video and it was titled, "Is Reality Real?
I love those.
Neuroscientists think not."
Right?
And then it was explaining why like nothing is real.
Susie.
It was good.
It's these things keep me up at night. This is like why I smoke weed.
I'll tell you, I wrote down some notes about it, what it said.
Oh, that's so cool.
It says objective reality it's sort of like that thing where they say if a tree falls in the woods kind of deal. So it's like
cat.
Yeah, if something would exist without me experiencing it, or a person, anybody experiencing it, is it real? Basically, no. That everything requires a perceiver. So, like,
observer.
You know, even like think about a headache. A headache isn't real unless someone's feeling it.
Right.
Right?
So crazy.
Or like odor.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't exist. Or color. It doesn't exist
color.
Unless you...
That's the crazy one.
Yeah, so they said, like, but even anything within space and time is a fabrication of our senses.
Time. That is so, like, a construct. We just said, hey, the Earth is traveling around. We passed this point. We're going to call that a day. Before we did that, there was no time.
Yeah.
There was the passing, there was things, but I mean, that like blows my mind.
But they were saying, like, don't let anyone use this as an excuse why they shouldn't maybe have morals or something. Like, oh, everything is a construct, nothing's real. Like,
no, you can't do that.
Because they were saying what you would want to do instead is called trans perspectivism, where you get as many opinions and beliefs from like qualified people, like scientists, and then, you know, there's consensus or an understanding, and then you can at that point get a partial truth.
Yes.
And then if you keep building upon those partial truths, whatever. And they were even saying that like Einstein's theories were smarter than Einstein. So like his theory of relativity included black holes, but he, after that even, didn't believe in black holes.
Right? Oh, that's super cool.
It's so fun.
Okay, my brother is I believe the program he is in now is mechanical engineering, but he is in his very last semester. Like, he's done basically with all the stuff in programs in like advanced mathematics and stuff that I can't even wrap my brain around when he starts to talk about. Like, he's like the guy who's inventing like the stuff that they use on the space stations for like that's my brother. And he said that one of the most fascinating things now that's in all of his classes, like his physics classes and his math classes, is they say in all the beginning of the book, basically take the results of any test lightly, because none of these things are fact or confirmed. In fact, like just the opposite. That all the things... Like, there's a wording. Oh my God, I wish I could text him now, but he like won't get back to me for 48 hours because he's like that. But there's a wording that he said where it's like, it's implied that the data is incorrect. And it's a way that they approach things now with this understanding that they didn't have the full picture of what's out there or what isn't out there when a lot of these mathematical equations are being written. And so they're true up to a certain point, and then it becomes really, really, really confusing and doesn't make any sense. And so
it's
they're
like the
telling
limitations of the human mind.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it gives me chills. Like they're
when you
telling people
hit
in
that
these
wall.
higher classes, like, basically, we don't know fuck all, is what they're like, like in a very serious way. They're like, this is what the results say. Wink, wink. Don't believe it, because time is like, is it even a thing? Is it even? Does reality exist? Like, whoo! It's crazy. I didn't understand 90% of the things that he was telling me at our conversation at lunch when I was in Colorado visiting him.
Do you think that this sort of progression that we've made, however limited it may be as humans and our understanding of the world, contributes to this other, on the other end of the spectrum, like the flat earthers and stuff?
Yes,
where
100%.
When things get so complicated that like a normal person can't understand it, they would rather think they should take like horse pills, horse dewormer for COVID or whatever. Like, it's more comfortable.
And it's kind of like what we say about both of our moms, that it's kind of like a circle, and they there's a lot of overlap, and they kind of connect. That the truths of one side of it, like this could be a manufactured reality, and that reality is question mark in the which. And using that with the laws of this physical world have proven true. But then people are taking that same statement and not applying the laws of our physical world and coming up with their own truths. Mm-hmm. So I think that the knowledge that we now have of the possibility of what could be is very exciting for one group that sees it as like unlimited possibilities within this that fit these like rules, and another group is like unlimited possibilities. Also, I've never been taught the rules and don't remember the scientific method, so I guess the Earth is flat. You know, it's
frightening, and it's a way for them to feel like all these people that are kind of like hierarchically above them in the social order are total idiots. Like it makes them feel better.
Like, I had a conversation with somebody that you and I both know that's from the challenge that believed in some flat earther theories, and
male or female?
Male.
Yep.
And was like talking about how, well, you know, is reality really real? And I looked at him, I'm like, okay, well, I know what you mean with that. I get you with that, but this is not that. Like, and I had to do some really basic explaining of like physical science.
Because even if our perceptions are not, quote, true with a capital T,
right,
they're still our collective perception.
Right.
And so they matter.
Right.
If everyone says the sky is blue, that matters.
Correct.
You can't then just start saying it's red because, like, nothing matters.
Right. And it's the agreed upon. Yes, it's you know, I took a Kabbalah class once, and they said it best in that I remember them saying that the instructor said it so well and said, number one, first and foremost, we have to follow the laws of this physical world.
Yeah, can we agree on that?
Can we agree on that? Like, there are laws within, there's all this other stuff that is definitely like mystical, and there's a lot of things out there that are you know, super magic, and I love it.
Yeah,
but
sure.
They all fit, and the reason why I love all that stuff, and the more you learn about the laws of the physical world, the more you become confident and sure and, well, not sure, but, you know, because again, what do we know? But the more informed you become of some of these more, I don't know, these different ideas of the possibility of what reality could be. It was through quantum physics and really learning about quantum physics that I understood that reality is that you need the observer. It was through understanding that double slit test that particles existed as both a single point and a wave until you look at them. So something is everywhere and nowhere and in one place until you look at it. And then it goes, oh, I want to be right here. And like, once you understand that, you can see, oh, wow, okay, I can like manifest my own reality. And so it's through that stuff. But I feel like if you don't have the basic understanding of the science, then you can kind of like...
Yeah, they use it as a license to disregard scientific progress.
Right.
I
And
think
that
we've
is
seen
where we
that
have to all start.
in the last year more than ever.
My favorite was some post that said, there are more than however many thousand flat earthers around the globe.
Right.
Like, oh, really? Are there? Not across the pancake? The disc? The globe, implying, come on. Every time I look at the moon, I think about flat earthers.
Okay.
I'm like, are they fucking dumb? Look,
I can't believe you actually talked to one.
I know. I didn't entertain this conversation for long. I was like, come on. We're not doing this right now. This is dumb.
Speaking of idiots, there was an article in the Atlantic, and it was about, apparently this is a thing, I didn't know it was, but apparently there's all these people, especially like the Kim Kardashians of the world, who are practicing something called tongue posture.
Oh, yeah, this is a thing, though.
You know about it?
Yeah.
Tell me what you've heard or like what context.
Well, I know about this only because I have I'm what they call a tongue thruster. I know. She hates it. She loves slash hates when I do these things.
What are you talking about?
So when I swallow, I push my tongue forward.
Okay.
And it gives me this gap in my teeth. Like I have to wear a little retainer because I get like a gap. Like when you swallow, what does your tongue do?
It kind of just like maybe touches the roof of my mouth a little bit.
Yeah, mine like my tongue pushes forward and pushes against it's like thrust it forward when I swallow.
Okay.
And so I had to practice when I was a little kid. So I had this huge gap in my teeth when I was little. And the dentist or orthodontist was like, you got to get on this. And because you got to fix your tongue, your posture of your tongue. So I had to practice every day with lifesavers, holding lifesavers against the roof of my mouth and swallow to try to get my tongue, correct the posture of my tongue to swallow. And it also, with how I do it, it creates, and it has something to do with like the ear, nose, and throat because I had a tonsillectomy and like couldn't breathe when I was little, so I have like scar tissue back there. So I for sure have experienced this, but when I was younger, not for like I'd like a thinner face, but more like so you don't have a big old gap in your teeth, and so you can breathe okay.
What do you mean a thinner? Oh, you're saying that's why some of them do it. Yeah, they do that. That's
do it
true.
To like it's like face yoga,
sculpt their face. Yeah.
What are you hearing about this? As I just tell my story.
The article, I cannot believe like you're not only like are you aware of it, you kind of believe it.
Well,
like you actually think you have bad tongue
I know what
posture.
happened. I could tell the difference of when I actively like when I swallow the right way and swallow. Yeah, it feels different.
Okay, well, maybe
and it feels like I'm definitely doing it wrong.
Maybe you're one of the people that's legitimate because they kind of use like people that are, tongue-tied, like true.
Yeah.
There's some very few, but some people truly are tongue-tied. But now, like, everyone thinks that they're tongue-tied, and so dentists are like...
Is it that a little thing under your...
Yeah, like if it's... won't let it release at all, and it can cause real problems with swallowing and stuff. But it's very rare, but now, like, everyone thinks that they're their kid or whatever. Yeah. And because, like, this whole industry is getting all kinds of money from getting people to, like, fuck up their tongues.
Is this like the mothers who are having their baby's tongue cut because they can't...
Some of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had a friend who struggled with nursing, and then she had this done to her second child, and no problems.
Yeah, maybe that kid was legitimately tongue-tied, but maybe not. I mean...
Wow, interesting.
And
maybe even that could be like a thing where the mom's anxiety went down when she thought that was the solution, and so the baby felt less anxiety and then had a better time latching. And like...
Yeah. But like, you have to be real careful because things can go wrong. There are risks with these invasive procedures. And that, like, a lot of people don't even need to have this shit done. I just can't even believe there's a whole
Are people
group
doing
of
this as
people.
adults?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they gave an example.
Oh, my God. That would be scary because you'd have to relearn how to talk.
Yes, this one lady, her tongue went numb then.
No,
and she had
I'm not fucking with that. Hell,
that's what I mean. Don't do anything.
No.
Just stick with the lifesaver therapy.
Exercise. This was like facial exercise. This is like...
Maybe, I guess there's like a spectrum.
I'm going back to... This is like do face yoga so you don't have to get plastic surgery. Do your tongue thrusting exercises so you don't have to get your tongue snipped.
I can't believe you're a tongue thruster.
Yeah, they like... My orthodontist like called me that. Like it was like... They really shame me at the dentist. My hopeless tooth, tongue thrusting.
Yeah, it's
so names
rude
for these ridiculous things that are just normal.
Okay, I'm sure we're going to get people in the industry yelling at me and saying I'm spreading misinformation or something. But I don't know, dentists. Like, as much as I love oral hygiene, as I said earlier, I read this thread. It was like, write your favorite scam or like, what's a scam, whatever. And somebody wrote dental insurance, and it got me thinking. And my wisdom teeth came in. Mm-hmm. No, they fit, no problems. Mm-hmm. But dentists kept saying, like, you got to get these out. And I'm like, but why? And
why? You shouldn't have.
I feel like this is just the script where they just tell everybody, even if they fit and they're healthy teeth.
Yeah, they shouldn't be doing that.
I agree.
I feel like there's not everybody needs their wisdom teeth taken out.
And I was like, why do I need to? And they would be like, well, it's really hard to brush that far back, so you'll probably get cavities.
Oh,
and I'm like, well, then
hard.
fill them.
Well, then, and also, what's the likelihood of that?
Well, and just
like,
fill them.
So you're saying there's like a 50% chance? Well, I'm going to roll that dice.
And then if I get a cavity, you can patch it up just like any other one.
Right.
But it's big money
right now, and I got to take care of it. Ugh, I haven't done it yet.
What? How did you get a cavity?
I know. I don't know.
Isn't this your first one, too?
Yeah.
You're falling apart. First the car accident, now the cavity.
Gosh, you were just saying how, like, I handled this year so well, and like all
Do you have glasses? Yes, you do. What's your prescription? Like, what are you dealing with?
I'm dealing with just blurry vision far away.
Okay, you're nearsighted.
And then stress, like eye tension at the end of the day from staring at the screen.
Ooh,
so like
maybe you need those blue blockers.
That's what I got, a blue blockers glasses for that. So I wear those.
They really help? Is that a scam
They do.
too?
They really help. I totally noticed it. Oh, speaking of which, there's something else that I just bought that I was like, oh my God, I have to tell the people about. But first, let me say the blue blockers thing. I notice a difference because my eyes don't feel as straight. Like I don't have those weird headaches. You know when you feel like you want to rub your eyes?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so and I notice it more when I take it off and then I stare at the screen and it's like, whoa, that,
okay.
You know. So I do like them for that. The only thing that's a challenge is that I have yet to find ones that don't have the reflective glare. So when I do it online, you can see like
it's not
it's
cute.
mostly like nighttime, so you can like see the ring light that I use for some lighting in my room. And then, you know, I had one client who was like, "Oh, I noticed you use a ring light," and I was like, "Well, I mean, yeah, but you know, like,
do you think if you turned the ring light
I don't ever want my clients to think that they have to then like do that too. I want it to be very casual and like, so I try to make it like we're just like we're just hanging out. This is no you don't have to like make sure the lighting is good to have a session.
Right. So like if you're gonna wear the blue blockers, don't do it when you're on camera.
When I got the ring light on, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, but the thing that I want to tell you about.
Yeah.
I bought a shower filter that filters the water to make it not hard water.
Okay. What? What?
My skin feels better.
Come on.
My hair. Yes. I was noticing, like, I've got really hard water here, which is why I told you before. I don't think we were on there, but I said I wanted to get my water tested.
Yeah.
But like I would be like itchy after I took a bath or shower, and like I just felt like I would clarify my hair, and then after like 3 weeks or so, I would have terrible curls. Like it wouldn't be curly anymore, and I would have to do like another, like it just like wouldn't curl, and it would be kind of like straight and just feel like weighed down. So I'd have to do like a clarifying treatment just more often than normal. And so I looked into this and was like, and then I was noticing like some white stuff left over on my plants when I would spray my plants. Like there were water droplets I could see. So I'm like, oh, this is definitely something, some buildup there. I got a filter for like no money. My water is a different color.
Whoa.
Like it's like clear.
It's like Aaron Brockovich over there. What the fuck's in your water?
This is what we were saying from before. So I have to know. I need to figure this shit out. So yeah. So if you live in a place with hard water, or you have curly hair, or you have sensitive skin, frickin' get and there's no brand that it doesn't even matter. Just get whatevs. That a shower filter, like a water filter, and it like attaches in 2 seconds. It's super easy.
You know what I'm mad
Game
about
changer.
those? I wanted one of those, but they do not make them for baths. Because
Suze, I had this problem this morning. Remember when I told you I need 10 more minutes? You know what that was from? It was because I needed to sit, and I was like answering emails in the bathtub, and I was filling up the bath with the shower.
Yes, see?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
People. Some people
they
take
do
baths.
need to invent this. They need that. They totally do. And I was like, oh, this is taking a while.
Discrimination.
I was like, I'm going to be an extra 10 minutes. Hang on.
I'm fine with that because I understand they do not meet our needs. If you have a bath fetish like I do, we are discriminated against.
And if you have curly hair and you need to let the treatment sit for 5 minutes, you can't be in the shower. You got to be in the bath, so you could be like doing multiple things and like shaving my legs as that sits.
Booked solid over here.
Booked solid.
What's your favorite scam? Do you have a favorite?
Oh,
because mine's the wisdom teeth thing, like where they just say you need your wisdom teeth.
Oh, like your favorite, like they're
really the opposite of favorite, least favorite.
Yeah, of like something they're telling you need, but you totally don't need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
Cable's another good one. How you have to buy all these channels you don't want just to get the two you do want.
Oh, you know what I've recently started doing? Because I'm like switching off every month of what I have a subscription to. I'm like not paying because I realized that they kind of slow roll things out. Sometimes it's like Netflix is releasing a whole bunch of stuff, and then I watch all that, and then there's nothing for like 2 months on there. So I'm like, why am I paying for this shit? So I'm going like every month. So this is not my Hulu month. Luckily, it was an Amazon Prime month, so I was able to watch that LulaRich documentary. So
I mean, that's
there better
smart.
not be anything good on Hulu. So
No, just cheers.
let me think. My favorite or least thing that I think is a scam. I'm gonna have definitely the tags on clothes. How you should wash clothes.
Why? Because you don't buy it?
No, not all of it. Not some of it that says like hand wash only or whatever. Some of the things I'm like, oh. Yeah. And then my least favorite ones where it says take out of washing machine and like reform. Or like, do you know what I'm talking about? Where it'll say like reform. But I was like, oh, what do you want me to sew the fucking thing too? What else do you want me to do? You want me to reform it? Like, I should just wash it and go. That seems silly to me. So like and then I feel like there's of course there's certain materials where and all of a sudden it's like baby clothes now, like these new materials that are like that, the cheap ones. So
like LulaRich.
Probably. But I think there are some things that I've definitely washed and then it still says like, you know, line dry only. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I just throw it in there. And once you do, if it's worked one time, it's going to keep working.
Wow. She's debunking. Sarah Brockovich.
Yeah. Not everything. Like, do not dry clothes from Forever 21. They're definitely going to shrink on you. I'm not talking those kind of clothes, like cheap ones. I'm talking like... regular stuff. I mean, I want things to be washable. So,
all right, let's wind it down.
Yeah. Talked so much.
We talked a lot.
Keep thinking about that one though, because I bet that list is long.
I was enjoying reading it.
This is stupid.
The one person said theirs was like when you go to like Whole Foods or something, and they say, "Would you like to round up and donate to charity?" Because they were arguing that then the company can take the write-off,
right?
But they
That's
can't.
Exactly it.
They can't take the write-off.
Oh, they can't?
You can personally. You could still write it off.
Oh,
but they thought this
that's
was just
what
a way.
I was under the impression of too. That companies do that,
Seems
and then
like it.
It does.
That they
seem
get
like
the
that.
reward for it, but it's really your money. But that's not
interesting.
True.
Okay, good.
But I was getting wound up for a minute until everyone was like, "No, don't worry."
Yeah.
I could do without them asking me, though, and the judgment. When you say no thanks, I'll pass.
Right. No joke.
I gave it the office, okay? Trevor. Come on. We talked about Rachel Hollis, and I think I intervened and got Sarah to cancel her.
One of those, you know, when they like talk to people in cults and they'd help them come out of it. What are they like?
Yeah, deprogramming.
Yeah, you deprogrammed me to my Instagram influencer.
Yes.
We talked about my new book club pick that's so good that you have to check out. People like her.
People like
just
her.
follow our, you know, if you aren't following the Brain Candy Podcast,
do you think that they mean it? Do you think they mean it like that? People like her, or do you think people like her?
Good question. Book club question. I love that question.
We learned about
that
Bruce.
Is interesting.
A genius bird who formed his own prosthetic.
We talked about what even makes people humans and people, or animals. We
got very philosophical about is reality real?
Oh my God, we definitely did. We're did
deep.
That thing where you hint about, what do you call it? Where you blind item to a person.
I know who it is.
I know you do. I know you do.
No, but like I don't. Did you tell me it?
No.
No. Okay.
I think we talked about this.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, and you were like, "Oh, for Pete's sake."
Yeah.
I was like, I know.
Then we found out a really important fact, which is that Sarah is a tongue thruster.
You found out a super interesting word, tongue thruster, phrase, tongue thrusting.
They should come up with a new word, or phrase. That's very sexual.
Yeah, whoever's in charge of naming things in the dental world.
Yeah.
Were there no male dentists who discovered the condition that we could have named it after? Like everything else in medicine?
Yeah, maybe we should blame a woman. Because a man would have named it after himself. Whatever.
That's funny. That's actually hilarious because I wonder how often that happens. Where like women discover something and name it after like what it is, and men discover something and name it after
just
them.
describe it.
Yeah.
We learned about wisdom teeth and all kinds of bullshit, like laundry tags.
I'm just thinking of a million different examples for that. Like, a male invented a Phillips head screwdriver. A woman invented a flathead screwdriver.
Yeah, that's so funny. I gotta write that down. Hold on.
That's really great.
That is such a good example. And flathead,
That's why
right?
That's funny to me.
Good one, Sarah.
Thanks, Suze.
If you want to watch this, which you should want to, it's real
Definitely.
fun. Go to patreon.com/braincandy.
Every time you say that we there's this crazy urge I get to just like flash the camera and be like, you get fun content like this! Woo!
bonus. Well, sometimes
But you'll have to
we
just
do.
become a member and check it out to see if I
See for
maybe do
yourself.
that one day.
See Sarah's titties.
Woo!
And don't forget to subscribe and tag us in stuff and check out our
Yeah,
merch.
hey, thank
all
you
that
guys.
stuff.
You guys have been tagging me way more. As you've noticed, I've reposted
listen.
those way more.
Yeah,
So
they
thank you
listen.
guys for doing that. I love you guys.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.